Hello, 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 and welcome to Cricbuzz Live. I'm Saiyami Kher. Well, 20 years ago, I was a little kid who sat in a room and made this World Cup room. I had posters. 90s kids would know, those full squad cup posters which we used to get. I had posters all around my room. Well, today, 20 years later, posters फट गए और heroes यहाँ पर है. I'm at Cricbuzz Live and I have Zach and PP with me. Zach, PP, I can't breathe. I've got butterflies in my stomach. 1.3 billion people have butterflies in their stomach because it's the big day. You'll have both been there, done that. How does it feel on this big day? Are you all just as nervous? Do you all have sleepless nights or you all are chilled, relaxed, just another day?
You said na little kid was lots of little kids were watching. There was one in the squad also.
I was going to say that.
With his books, I'm told.
Yeah, I missed my board exams. I mean, there was board exams after the World Cup, so I was actually reading during the World Cup. And as you said, I was also another little child in that dressing room, 2003.
But
No,
Zach,
but when you talk about the match,
yes,
it's obviously a very big occasion. It can overwhelm you as a cricketer. There's no doubt about that. So it's important how you manage yourself, and I think how you manage your emotions. All those feelings, what you're trying to say there, it's all going to be there. It's just about how you're going to manage it, how you're going to look at it, how you're going to stay in present is something which is going to be very important for anyone who plays a game like this, a final big occasion. You've been working hard. It doesn't matter. Even if you've had a run like what India had, or you have a run where you just about get to the finals, everything counts on this day. So you got to prepare in that fashion. You got to stay in present, and if you don't stay in present, that's the kind of pressure which you often speak about. That's the kind of matches you've seen in the past also, that teams crumble at times because they maybe relax too soon thinking that, oh, it's done, or they get too anxious before actually, getting to a strong position. So all these things we have to manage, whoever is there part of the group.
But PP, I know you were sitting with your books and trying to study, but the occasion itself, today there are 1.3 lakh people who are going to be watching the game. As players, when you go out there, pehle to the fans put so much pressure on you all. It's social media now, there's so much happening. But when that national anthem happens, does it feel very overwhelming? What does it feel?
Yeah, it does, definitely. Without a doubt, it does feel overwhelming. These are the occasion for, you prepare for World Cup final, you want to be out there in the middle. But even before game starts, yes, you will be nervous, without a doubt. If you're not nervous, then you're not a human on a finals day. And there is obviously a lot of excitement. There is a chance to become a hero on a finals day. If you perform, everyone will be talking about you. And plus, on top of everything, like 2003 World Cup, I know I wasn't playing the final, but I couldn't sleep that night. I'm sure there could be a lot of players like that. So, but you want to be there, as a player, you want to make a mark for yourself, and this is the opportunity to do it.
But, well, 2003 is something that every 90s kid wants to forget. We don't want to think about it, but we are 20 years hence. And Zach, this team has looked unbeatable. They've looked so dominant from the word go. This World Cup, 10 wins on the trot. They're doing everything good. There was that phase which Australia had from 2003 to 2007 when they were just constantly winning. Do you think this team kind of reminds you of that Australian team which looked so unbeatable?
Well, any winning team is going to be dominant. And you've seen with Indian team how they've approached this World Cup. It's not that they've had a very easy run, and I keep talking about that first game against Australia. You go back to that first game and you'll realize that that game was for Australia, after creating that kind of a scenario in a venue like Chennai, you would back Australia to win that game, but India somehow find a way out of that. And I think that is the strength of the team. So from good teams, you've seen that any tough situations, they find a way, and different individuals stepping up at different times. When you're looking at this batting order, you're looking at this bowling lineup, you'll see contributions. You will not be able to pinpoint saying that, okay, this person has taken the team through with the bat or with the ball. And that's what is commendable. I think when you're looking at this Indian team, it's looking like they're playing as a unit. They're enjoying each other's successes. The dressing room looks like a very happy dressing room. The captain is looking very relaxed, and I think that that matters a lot because you actually being a leader, sending that kind of a signal that yes, it is a high pressure game. It is a scenario. It is a tournament which is going to be high pressure, but we're going to be very intense on the field, yet very relaxed. And I think that's where the credit has to go to Rohit as well. But on the whole, when you're looking at this team and when you want to compare, it's not fair to compare different eras, but you still want to see in this era how these guys are approaching and how they're dominating. It's just phenomenal. They've had a dream run.
I think, see, the other thing is when you are comparing this with that Australian team, if you see that 2003 World Cup, they were against Pakistan where they were in trouble and Andrew Simons comes in and scored at 144. Against New Zealand, Andy Bickle played an outstanding inning. So this is how you find a way, which Zach was preferring to, that how to find a way to cross the line. That is something that Australia knew how to do it. And even in this World Cup, India was challenged in different ways against Australia, against New Zealand, against Pakistan. But India has somehow find a way to win the games. And to me, there is no side actor in this Indian team at the moment. I mean, everyone is a lead role. If you look at Rohit's performance, Virat and bowlers, everyone has played a significant role in this campaign so far. So now it comes down to that final push today, and hopefully they'll try and stick to their processes, and they've prepared really well. Now it's about staying in own zone and executing the plans which they have decided to do it.
Talking about executing the plans, Australia have won the toss. They decided to bowl first, but Rohit said that they would have batted first as well. PP, you would know the ground better than anyone else. Is this a good decision? Because considering 3 out of 4 people who have chased have
if you look at the record of this ground so far in this tournament, the teams have won more games chasing. But yeah, I think if I was in that position, I was talking to someone yesterday, if you're playing a final, you're playing a big game, the wicket's not going to change that much. Dew is a bit of a factor, but we've seen there's a lot of spray been going around, and there was one game in Calcutta where there was no spray, there was no dew set in. So I don't. And as a final, if it's a final, you want to win the toss and put runs on the board, and that's how you put pressure on the team. And we've seen that with Australian batting side also, that if you take a couple of wickets early, then they rely a lot on individual brilliance. And Indian bowlers have bowled really well under lights, as the way ball has swung under lights. So yeah, I think to me, I know it's anyway Rohit was going to bat first, so that's a good decision for as far as India is concerned.
Zach, win-win for both because they wanted to bowl first, India wanted to bat first, so win-win for both.
Well, I think it's about how you look to take a team on. And when you're looking at this Indian team and this World Cup especially, they've not looked like they are beatable, right? So Australia, I'm sure, must have gone back to the drawing board and thinking that, okay, tactically what you can do here. And you've seen, say, when you're batting first, you have to set that total. You want to be aggressive. So they want to play on that factor, that let them make the play, whether under big kind of a pressure, big occasion, are they going to continue with that kind of approach, or are they going to crumble? Or you can put them under pressure with that, because the Indian team have been very attacking right from the word go. So they're looking to catch the team from there. Also the dew factor. I'm sure they must have practiced there. They must have discussed all those things. Usually it's as a thumb rule, you prefer to bat first in any finals. But they've chosen otherwise. So you got to have those kind of reasons for you to come to that conclusion. I think for Australia, they know that if dew is a factor, the spin twin of India they can put them under pressure. And how they're going to approach Shami is something which we have to see, because he's been in that wicket-taking form. Knowing Australia and how they approach the game and tactically how they're going to look to catch the game is this. They're going to just see, okay, Shami is their most successful bowler, wicket-taking form. Bumrah is someone who's got that X factor. How are you going to deal with that? If you take the spin twin of India out of the game, if there is dew, and if you're able to put them under pressure, then they got a chance. Hence the decision of bowling first, even though it's a final.
Let's quickly have a look at the playing 11s because there was a little bit of rumors with regards to should Ashwin play, but Parthiv, they've gone ahead with the same playing 11, haven't changed anything around. But would you have changed things considering the pitch, Ahmedabad? There were all these talks, that maybe Ashwin would play.
No, I don't think so. There was no need of getting Ashwin in. Of course, Ashwin is that quality bowler, but wicket might be slight dry. But the way Indian bowlers have bowled, I don't think India needed to change anything. It has worked for us so far. So I think so far so good. So there is no point changing the playing 11.
Well, no one really moves around a winning combination. Australia's gone ahead with the same playing 11. Zach, no surprises there because why should they change anything around if it's all going well for them?
Yeah, that Smith and Labuschagne was the only discussion,
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like maybe Stoinis coming in, he's got a decent record against spin bowling as well. He's someone who can put spinners under pressure. So that was the only change which everyone were debating about. Australia is thinking otherwise. They're saying, okay, this is the team which have been winning them games, and they're going to stick with the plan which they've made way before the tournament started.
But I just want to just quickly touch upon this. We've spoken about India and we've spoken about how they've been so dominant. But Parthiv, what is it about this Australian side? Every time there is a big high pressure World Cup game, they just know how to turn things on. This World Cup, they haven't been that dominant team. But again, against Afghanistan, they were 91 for 7. From there, they've bounced back. Against South Africa, also they were down and out. They've bounced back. So they just know how to come in and play in World Cup games.
It's just that winning mentality. They know that they've done really well in big tournaments. They've won big games. So I think it's in that culture. They've got growing up. That you've seen a lot of teams winning the tournament. So it stays in your mind. You know that whatever situation will be put in, we'll find a way to win games. Like in this World Cup, first 2 games, Australia, it didn't look like a team which they are right now. They won 8 games in a row. Yeah, and there's a lot of strong self-belief around Australian team. When you look at Australia to win a game like what they won against Afghanistan. I mean, no one would have thought someone will score 200 runs and that is once in a generation kind of an inning. But it is about how you've grown up. You've grown up seeing Andrew Symonds doing such things. You've grown up seeing Ricky Ponting smashing 140 in a World Cup final. You have seen Adam Gilchrist smashing that 100 in a World Cup final in 2007. So that our players have done it before, and this is how we can also do it. So that's how they prepare themselves that we are ready for a big stage.
Zach, well, Pat Cummins also said that we haven't played the best cricket yet. They've reached the World Cup final, but he said, I think one of the pleasing things is I still don't feel like we've played the complete game, maybe against Netherlands, but outside of that, we probably haven't. There have been no huge wins. We've had to fight for every win, but we found a way to win. So in spite of reaching the finals, he's saying we haven't played our best brand of cricket.
Yeah, because there has not been a pattern. Like, if you see, look at any team there, you kind of build a pattern. With Australia, that has not been the case. You've seen different individuals, and individual brilliances have been winning them games, especially in this World Cup. So that is something which is not giving anyone that kind of confidence. And that's why Pat Cummins is trying to say, and which is true, they've not played the perfect game so far. And I think when you're looking at these two teams going head to head in the finals, it's going to be an interesting one because of that. Because Indian team have been very consistent, and Australian team have been showing those signs of things coming together. Their semi-final was a perfect example of that, where their bowlers actually came together, and that is possibly one of the games where you saw everyone chipping in and making sure that they get to the finals.
Well, like you said, India has been consistent and things have been going their way. We've spoken a lot about the batters, but there is somebody I'd like to talk about, Mohammed Shami, who's on our Naukri career score. Naukri.com, India's #1 job portal, uses his expertise in helping grow careers, applies this to cricket stats. What we get is a whole new way of looking at cricket careers. Mohammed Shami is up there at #1 on our Naukri career score. Zach, you'll be a very happy man because he's up there with 869 points. He's gone past your record in the World Cup. 3 more wickets, he'll go past Malinga and he'll go past Akram. he's just had the most exceptionally phenomenal World Cup, sat out the first 4 games, and just look at how he's come back.
No, these numbers are unbelievable. Like, you look at getting, say, on an average, maybe 1.5, 2 wickets per game, and he's taken it to 3 wickets or more than that.
Yes.
He's just played 17 games, and it just baffles everyone that why he has not been playing every game. And then that's something which everyone needs to look at in the hindsight. But what's phenomenal is that his ability to convert those 3-fers and 4-fers into 5-fers, and now the last one he had taken into the 7-wicket haul. So it's just amazing. It's the belief also, and he keeps things very simple. I mean, it's a classic example of someone bowling with a new ball, or at any stage of the game where you're just running in and you are actually having a very old school approach. As a bowler, just get the ball in the right areas, look to hit the top of stump, and keep doing that repeatedly. Eventually, you're going to have success. And what a success he's had, what a run he's had.
Well, we'll have a look at the Naukri career score graph, because he also, we can see here, he's number 1 with situational performance, and his consistency is at number 1. Longevity is 44. He's not played the first 4 games, but Parthiv, he's constantly dedicated his wins to Paras Bamre. So clearly there is something that Paras and he are doing together which is really working.
Yeah, absolutely, it is working, and we are talking about the consistency where he stands at number 1. Every time he has come up to bowl in a power play, he has taken a wicket in first over. So that's a consistency for you, and the number of wickets which he has taken. Situational performance is number 1. I think there are 2 reasons for it. Why is number 1? He has been bowling with new ball all throughout his career. He has not bowled one change in his career, but here in this World Cup, he's bowled one change and has taken wicket. And every time when there is a situation has come up where India needs wicket, India used to fall back to Jasprit Bumrah. But in this World Cup, it is Mohammed Shami who has done for India. New Zealand game where he took those 2 wickets and they turned the game around. So situational performance and consistency, that is the reason why you see Mohammed Shami is right up there.
Well, Mohammed Shami is up there in our Naukri career score, and I just hope he has another great game today, gets another 5-wicket haul and goes past both the greats of Malinga and Akram. We've spoken about Shami, but now we need to speak about the 2 batters who are just doing things which are completely leaving everyone speechless, because there is Rohit Sharma who comes in, he's been the aggressor, and then Virat Kohli comes in, he's been this anchor. Zach, Rohit spoke about how there is a definite plan for every batter in the press conference. In his typical style, he said not all 7 can go and just swing their bat around. So this is some kind of formula they're using and applying, and it's working for the team.
Well, what they've done nicely is that they've set a template. And I think that process started way before. That's what Rohit has been talking about. And once they've said that, it's about going out there and trying to just execute those kind of plans. And now for that, you have the captain himself who is setting that tone. Now that makes things very easy. So if you look at it, and from the outside also, when you're watching the game, and everyone, all the fans, everyone who is understanding the games and watching it, they will see there is a clear-cut pattern or a template which is set that, okay, Rohit is going to come and he's not going to linger around too much. He's going to look to put bowlers under pressure, which will get their mindset defensive. Shubman on the other side will most likely be the one who is taking time. At times he's stepped down, he's done the opposite of whatever he's been saying in the press conference. So, all those kind of things are happening. But then that solid approach of Virat Kohli, which has been that solid platform or foundation which everyone is rallying around. And I think you've seen that in the tournament. His numbers are also suggesting of that fact. But because Virat is in form, it just taken the pressure off the whole middle order as well. It has taken the pressure of Rohit as well. It gives him more confidence to go after bowling, because he knows that, okay, Virat is going to control the game in those middle overs. You've seen that brilliant partnership of Virat and KL also. There are so many partnerships of Virat, yes. KL, Virat, Surya. There are the names which Shreyas. All these guys have been doing these partnerships. But it just looks very good when those plans come off. And for Indian team, everything has come out just as planned, as they had desired, if not better.
Parthiv, I heard Rahul talk about Rohit somewhere, and he said that he seems so casual, and the attitude he brings onto the field is because he's someone who's extremely prepared before a game. You all both would know him very well, but he's just someone who does all the homework, tactically knows exactly which bowler will do what. So, is that the kind of prep he's always used all through his career?
Yeah, he has. He has been, watching a lot of videos. He prepares really well. You will, a lot of time you will see that, he'll make that subtle adjustment in his stance when he's playing that left arm seamer. If ball's coming in, he'll open his toe a bit. So those kind of little adjustment he does. And see, you can be really confident if you are clear in your plans, if you are clear in your head, which Rohit Sharma is, and that you can see it in his body language, that you can see it in his style. He wanted to play in a certain way. There's no doubt in his mind. What if 2 wickets falls? I'll change my approach. What if a knockout game comes in and I'll change my approach, which he didn't against New Zealand semi-final. He came out all guns blazing. So I think it comes down to the mindset and your preparation, both. So Rohit has been at #1 in doing both the things, and that is the reason why you can stay relaxed. And then in the back of your mind, you know that I'm well prepared. Somewhere I'm going to score runs, and that's exactly how Rohit Sharma is approaching this World Cup.
Well, Rohit Sharma is very relaxed and laid back, but as fans, we have our heart in our mouth, Zach, when a Josh Hazlewood comes into bowl, and we saw what he did. It was a peach of a delivery. The delivery that Rohit got in the opening game, it was unplayable, but he spoke about how Rohit is changing his stance around. Josh Hazlewood has just bowled that perfect length. How important is it to bowl that test match length in ODI, Zach?
Well, it's not easy to approach and back yourself to bowl those lengths consistently. Now, that's the pressure in white ball cricket, because in test match cricket, you know that the batter is looking to play the long innings. He's not looking to take that many risks. But in white ball cricket, he's prepared. He's prepared to put bowlers under pressure. At times, you've seen batters just do things to put bowlers off their lengths. And that's why it becomes very important. It's a very repeated kind of approach you should have, a thick-skinned approach you should have as a bowler, where you are saying that, okay, I might get hit of that length, but that's my best chance. And I think Shami, Josh Hazlewood, you've seen Siraj also approach in that manner, Bumrah approach in that manner, where they're just repeatedly looking to get the consistency in that length. Good length, where the batters are not going on front foot or back foot, and then they are leaving it to the batter to make the play. So if you are having that kind of approach over the period of time, you get more and more assured about your approach. Add to that, Josh Hazlewood is also someone who looks to emulate Glenn McGrath. And now what's going for him is also that he's a very tall bowler and a nice high arm action, which just aids to all these plans and takes the pressure off him.
Parthiv, but as an opener, if there's a Josh Hazlewood coming to bowl to you, we've seen Rohit change his stance against New Zealand. He stood out a little bit. So as an opener, would you think he'd do something like that to kind of just counter that
I think you will see Rohit Sharma using his feet more, because Zach mentioned that Josh Hazlewood likes to bowl in that the corridor of uncertainty. That's something which we talk about. He bowls consistently in that area, which he did in semi-final as well. That forced Quinton de Kock to play a big shot. But you want your bowler to, if someone is as consistent as Josh Hazlewood is, you want him to change his line in length. You want him to bowl maybe a slower one, maybe a bouncer, and how can you do that? There's only one way you can do that, is by using your feet. They try and unsettle him a bit, and that's Rohit Sharma's approach has also been throughout this World Cup. He's using his feet to new ball, whoever is swinging. So I think that's something which we will see, and we will see that very early on. You don't want Hazlewood to get settled on that line for a couple of overs or 3 overs. I think that's a good plan to have, and that's something which we will see from Rohit Sharma.
Well, you spoke about using his feet. There's someone who's been using his feet very, very well. His 2.0 version of KL Rahul, because he's been so impressive this World Cup. Zach, he's, because of what Rohit's doing and Gill's doing, Virat's doing, playing in that middle order is extremely pressurizing. Rahul Dravid spoke about this. His lot is spoken about the top order batters, but what Rahul has done for this World Cup is something which has to be spoken about much more.
And at number 5, these numbers are at number 5. It's not a top order batter's numbers, and yet they are so promising. So that is why the contribution of it is immense. You look at a top order batter getting 700 runs. And when you're looking at a number 5 batter getting close to 400 runs is as good as that those 700 runs is what anyone would say who's played the game, because at number 5 you don't know how many deliveries you're going to face.
True.
You've seen that Australia game where he scored those 96 runs. You've seen the fastest 100. So you have to do all those kind of things to put up these numbers, and he has been doing it consistently. Add to that the way he's been keeping. Parthiv has been very vocal about it. He gets very excited seeing Rahul. It's clearly that evident that he's been putting in effort. He's been put that responsibility of wicket keeping and batting at number 5, but he's not just looked at, oh, I'm a batter now, I have to think of how to get accustomed to batting at number 5. But he's given enough importance to keeping also, which is great, and everyone has taken note of that.
Parthiv, you're in the house. I have to ask you, how much does the batting form affect his keeping form, or vice versa? Because he's been phenomenal behind the wickets. That down the leg catch of Virat was a very tough. I know how excited you were when he caught it, but how much does it affect the form on each other?
See, obviously, it's an all wicketkeeper. If your wicketkeeper can bat the way KL Rahul's batting, he does the job of all-rounder. And we usually don't say a wicketkeeper is an all-rounder, but KL Rahul, in true sense, playing like an all-rounder. When you've done well in one of your skills, it does rub onto your other skill as well, because stay confident about whatever you have done either in batting or keeping. So yeah, it definitely affects that. And to me, I think first thing we need to do is we have to take the tag away of makeshift wicketkeeper from KL Rahul. He is no more a makeshift wicketkeeper. He is he is no more a makeshift wicketkeeper. The way he is kept in different surfaces, and we always talk about just the catches which he has taken, but with ease how he is kept on Chennai wicket or on a turning wicket at Lucknow, it never looked like that the ball's coming out of his hand. Whether even to fast bowlers, the difficult job is to when it bounces right in front of you. Yeah. Even then, he's been very confident about it. He's taking it brilliantly. Otherwise, sometimes you see that if ball's bouncing in front of you, take your body away and try and get your head away. He's not. He's keeping his eyes on the ball. So a lot of one-handed takes around the wicket. Whatever, because our bowlers are swinging that much, Shami's ball actually swings a lot behind the stump as well. And he's been stopping those wide 5 runs. So I think KL Rahul, to me, is the best wicketkeeper in this World Cup.
No, a little more, because we very rarely talk about wicket keepers, especially Rahul, considering he's come back from the injuries he has to come through what he has. We saw what happened to him in the IPL and got injured again. So how much does that injury play for a keeper, Parthiv?
It does play in your mind, because especially the kind of injury he had a quadricep tear. There's a lot of weight. It all, as a wicketkeeper, it all depends on your lower back and quadriceps. It takes a lot of load on your quadriceps because you are doing a lot of squats, and that is the reason why he might be slightly, maybe not as confident to start with, because there is a mental scar in your, once you start practicing, you know that, I don't want to injure my quads again. But because you've done so many catches, because you've done a lot of drills, which we've not seen KL Rahul doing it. I'm sure he has worked really, really hard on it, and that is the reason why you can see that smooth glove work. That is the reason why we see that smooth footwork down the leg side. And we spoke about KL's catch, and on top of everything, the DRS calls which he's been taking. Rohit has actually put it on KL Rahul. Whatever KL says, Rohit actually takes that decision. So there's a lot of confidence. There's a lot of preparation has gone behind KL Rahul's wicket keeping and his ability to just soak up the pressure.
We are so used to always celebrating the batters, because that's how cricket has been celebrated. But in the studio today, there is Zaheer Khan, who's going to be a very proud man looking at what Mohammed Shami is doing. And there's Parthiv Patel in the studio, who's very proud. We can see how he's spoken about KL Rahul. Well, India is going to be batting first. But before we get there, we have to do our rituals, which is answer Mr. Joy Bhattacharya's question, although we never have the answers, but we will read it out to you. Up till a certain date, this cricketer had scored 14 ODI centuries. 13 of the 14 times he hit 100, his team won. Name him, and the only match in which his century did not result in a win.
No idea.
Yeah.
Not even
At least this question I could read because usually I stammer in reading his questions also. So मेरे लिए achievement has at least managed to read his question. But usually we have Parthiv in the Hindi studio and we are competing with, I don't know if you know about the competition that we always have with the prediction game. The English studio has done much better for the record. But now that you all are both here.
Who's checking the records? I'll have to check the records.
Check the record, yeah.
But your team English studio. You have to take the team English studios side. But Zach, please go first.
Okay, finals, just adding pressure, doing all this like what Parthiv does. I'm trying Parthiv's approach. I'm going with 299.
Oh. I'm going 280. A couple of days back when we were shooting, I had said 280. So I don't want to change it now. I'm saying I'm staying at 280.
You all have completely thrown me off because I thought it's India batting first. I know that it will be a slow pitch, but okay, I'm going to go with 310.
Okay.
I'll go up to 300. I feel I'm so nervous right now because of what's going to happen. So we are going to breathe in, breathe out a little bit because that's what we need to do. Calm ourselves down and go and see India bat. Don't forget to join us at the 15 over point at the Cricbuzz com box.